Good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Cincinnati. My name is Reverend Connie Simon, and we are glad that you're here this morning in person or virtually. Located on the ancestral lands of the Adena, the Hopewell, the Miamia, and the Shawnee people, our urban community welcomes all with love, supports learning and spiritual growth, serves our wider community, and works for justice, equity, and inclusion. During the service, you may hear mention of programs or other things that interest you. And at the end, there will be announcements of upcoming events. If you'd like to learn more about any of these events or anything else regarding our community, please contact us at member-care@firstuu.com. We begin our time together today by lighting our chalice, the chosen symbol of our faith, with these words by Maureen Killoran. Love is the aspiration, the spirit that moves and inspires this faith we share. Rightly understood, love can nurture our spirits and transform the world. May the flame of this chalice honor and embody the power and the blessing of the love we need, the love we give, the love we are challenged always to remember and to share. Please join us now in singing along with a recording of our vision song. The words will appear on your screen. Welcome. We are all religious haven, welcoming wonder and spiritually free, with sustained by a loving tradition, moved and inspired by the future we see. For lives seeking and working for justice, gently transforming lives through big, great, and small. Young and old, sharing meaning and mission, we joyfully offer our vision to all.
With Valentine's Day approaching, I've had the luxury of thinking about all the loves of my life. My children, my husband, my family, love. Kings Island, Star Trek, Unitarian Universalism, love. Basketball, baseball, football, don't love. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't hate these things. I just don't love them. But I love all of you. And I know many of you are very excited about Super Bowl 56. So, for you, here is today's Time for All Ages.
NFL Teams, Cincinnati Bengals, by Kenny Abdo. Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals have torn up football fields for years to make it to many NFL championships. Their signature chant, Hoo Day, and mascot not only unite Bengals fans, but the city as a whole. Kickoff. The Bengals were founded by Paul Brown in 1967. The team began to play in the American Football League, AFL, in 1968. Brown named Cincinnati's team the Bengals in 1968. This was the name of an AFL team that played in the city from 1937 to 1942. The Bengals joined the NFL in 1970 and made it to the playoffs that year. Quarterback Ken Anderson, drafted in 1971, went on to be the team's all-time passing leader using the West Coast offense. Team recaps. The Bengals made it to Super Bowl 16 and 28. Unfortunately, they lost both games to the San Francisco 49ers. The Bengals had few victories from 1991 to 2004. However, in 2005, the Bengals finally had their first winning season in 15 years. They also won the division title. Quarterback Andy Dalton and wide receiver A.J. Green joined the team during the 2011 season. They were considered to be one of the greatest passing duos in the game. Despite their success, the Bengals lost the wild card playoffs to the Texans 31-10. For the 2019 season, the Bengals hired Zach Taylor as head coach. Unfortunately, they were still the first team to be cut from playoff competition in Week 11, ending with a 2-14 season. For the 2020 season, the team managed to grab the number 1 overall 2020 draft pick, Joe Burrow, as QB. Unfortunately, his rookie season ended midway with an injury. The Bengals ended the season with a miserable 4-11-1 record. Hall of Fame. Ken Riley played with the Bengals for 15 seasons. He caught 65 interceptions throughout his career, a Bengals team record. Riley played in 207 games, another team record. During the 2011 season, rookie Andy Dalton passed for more than 3,000 yards. He is one of 5 rookie QBs to do that. Dalton is the only quarterback on the Bengals to catch a touchdown. A.J. Green joined the Bengals during the 2011 season. He is the only Bengal to play at the Pro Bowl in each of his first 5 seasons. Between 2011 and 2013, Green caught more than 260 passes. That was more than any other player in the NFL history at the time. Glossary. Championship. A game held to find a first-place winner. Division. A group of teams who compete against each other for a championship. Draft. A process in sports to assign athletes to a certain team. Interception. When a player catches a pass that was meant for the other team's player. Quarterback, QB. The player on the offensive team that directs teammates in their play. Rookie. A first-year player in a professional sport. Super Bowl. The NFL championship game played once a year. West Coast offense. Offense that is based on passing instead of running. Online resources. Booklinks Nonfiction Network. To learn more about the Cincinnati Bengals, please visit abdobbooklinks.com. These links are routinely monitored and updated to provide the most current information available. This Super Bowl Sunday, I wonder, who dey?
Meredith is getting there with the sports stuff, isn't she? When I saw her video, she asked me if it was okay to do a Bengals piece for the Story for All Ages, and I said absolutely, because I'm going to talk about sports. I was tickled when I watched her video. And as much of a sports fan as she is not, we know I am. And it's kind of uncommon in Unitarian Universalism. I remember being in seminary, being one of only 2 people who were glued to the TV watching the NFL playoffs. The rest of our classmates thought that, why are you watching sports? Competition is not good, it's barbaric. Why do you care about this stupid game when there are real problems in the world? Well, we care because we're sports fans. That's why I live on Melbourne, Australia time every January when I watch the Australian Open. My sport of choice is tennis. And yes, while many of you today will be watching the Super Bowl, I will probably be watching a recording of the ATP Tour events in Rotterdam and St. Petersburg. The finals are today. And why? Because I'm a sports fan. Fan as in fanatic, derived from the Latin fanaticus, meaning insanely but divinely inspired. One who is an enthusiastic devotee, follower, or admirer of a sport, a pastime, or a celebrity. Yes, my friends, I am a sports fan. And I have my team of choice that wears different colors. But I know where I am. And I like to buy local, as they say. So I pulled out my best orange and black outfit for the day. And even though my sport is tennis, I have my moments with baseball, basketball, hockey, swimming, figure skating, and even golf. But why, we wonder, what makes me and millions of others so fanatical about sports? Why do we get so involved? It's not like we're going to share in any of the millions of dollars that these athletes are making. It's not like any of us is going to get a Super Bowl ring and a trophy. Well, there have been lots of studies and books and articles written on this subject, and it turns out there are many reasons why we love sports so much. Sports engages our mind. It gives us a distraction. Adam Earnhardt, co-author of Sports Mania, Essays on Fandom and Media in the 21st Century, says, "We love distractions, and when the distractions are of less importance in the global scope, then we tend to latch onto them because they can pull us away from being concerned about some of the bigger issues." That makes sense to me, especially in times such as these. We like sports because they provide an element of danger. Whether it's auto racing, boxing, hockey, or football, there's the ever-present risk that makes it just a little bit exciting. Sports gives us a place in history. Think back to the 1980 Olympics, the miracle on ice. Some sports transcend the game and become a part of our national history. Sports is high drama. The game is tied with 2 seconds on the clock and LeBron drives into the hoop. He shoots, he scores, game over. That's excitement. Sports bonds us to other people. We watch the big game with our family and our friends. And on a larger level, sports can even connect strangers. Have any of you seen the movie Major League, which makes light, I'll say, of a team that's kind of up in the other end of the state? It's a comedy from the 1980s about the then hapless Cleveland Indians and their shocking run to the playoffs. As they celebrate winning the game, a punk rock mohawk wearing fan and a straight-laced guy, two people who would never be expected to get along, hug each other in joy. Sports gives two strangers something to talk about. And lastly, being a sports fan gives us all a chance to feel a bit of the glory. So regardless of what happens tonight, regardless of what happens in Rotterdam, what's happening in Rotterdam right now, what happens in St. Petersburg, or maybe done happening in St. Petersburg, we love sports. We fans, we love the action, we love the excitement. There is nothing like being a sports fan. And to celebrate that, I've put together a little video showing fans of various sports around the world, accompanied by the Reading School's pep band, led by our own Jera, who you will hear directing them in the beginning of the video. Enjoy. You can clap, Linda. This is the time in our service when we honor the joys and the sorrows that we've held in our hearts and on our minds since last we were together. There are many joys, one being that the Bengals are in the Super Bowl today, that Stefanos Tsitsipas is playing for the final in Rotterdam, and Maria Sakkari is playing the final in St. Petersburg. And I'm sure there are many, many other joys that we're holding in sportsdom and otherwise this year, this day, this morning, here in Cincinnati and around the world. And at the same time, we're aware that many are dealing with broken hearts. I am devastated to share with you that Joe Rowling passed away last night. I talked to Jean, and she is upset and knows that everyone here loves her, and asked if I would make the announcement here this morning. So please send all of your love to Jean. and allow her the space and privacy that she needs. I know that she will be reaching out to us, and I know that she will need her community more than ever now. We also send our love to Nelson and Sarah Horseman, whose son Dave passed away too early, in his 30s. And we know that there are many who continue to lose their life to cancer and COVID and other illnesses and diseases. And for each of them, we hold a place in our hearts. I have before me stones in water, the stones representing those things that we hold on our hearts, whether they be joys or sorrows, and the water representing the healing power of love. If ever there was a time that we needed the healing power of love, it seems to be these days. For the last 2 years, I have been dropping a stone in water for you. You may notice today that the stones are out of the big bowl and back into the basket. For the first time since 2020, I now invite you to come forward and drop a stone in the water to represent your own joy or sorrow. And before we do that, I'd like to share with you a prayer that you may contemplate as you come forward, or if you choose not to, as you sit in your seat. This is Even When Our Hearts Are Broken by Rebecca Parker. Even when our hearts are broken by our own failure or the failure of others cutting into our lives, even when we've done all we can and life is still broken, there is a universal love that has never broken faith with us and never will. You may now come forward. Those we have named, for those whose names we do not know, and those whose names are carefully guarded in our hearts, we drop one last stone in water as I invite you to enjoy these beautiful flowers in silent meditation, reflection, or prayer. Our flowers this morning are from Mary Tarbell Green. For love, for Valentine's Day, for the Bengals Super Bowl, and for the 1-year anniversary of the passing of her niece, Anne Elizabeth Powers. She would love sharing the flower podium, and we love sharing it with her. Every month, we dedicate our offering to an organization in the city that is doing the work of justice. This month, contributions to our Share the Plate will benefit the Interfaith Hospitality Network of Greater Cincinnati. Since 1991, IHN has offered emergency shelter and community-based housing programs to meet the needs of families experiencing homelessness. The network has grown to include over 100 congregational partners representing people of Protestant, Catholic, Jewish, Muslim, and Unitarian Universalist faiths. Congregations throughout Cincinnati, including First Unitarian Church, have provided overnight shelter and meals for unhoused families in their emergency shelter program, while IHN's programs and caseworkers provide the tools, resources, and support that families need to overcome homelessness and achieve long-term stability. To watch Shelter Operations Coordinator Megan Snyder share IHN's current needs and plans to address this issue in Cincinnati, please check out our February 6th service, which is available on our YouTube channel, First Unitarian Church of Cincinnati. If you would like to support the work of IHN and the First Unitarian Church community, you may do so by texting the word GIVE to 513-717-7373. If you have access to our Breeze member system, you may do so by clicking Give Now in Breeze. You may also donate via our website at firstuu.com, or you can mail a check to 536 Linton Street, Cincinnati, Ohio 45219. Please make your check payable to First Unitarian Church of Cincinnati and write IHN on the memo line. If this is your first time visiting us, we invite you to let the offering plate, virtual or otherwise, pass you by. Your presence is your gift to us. Our offering will now be gratefully received. This morning, I'd like to share with you 3 very different poems, writings, reflections about love. At the end of each one, I'll invite you into a moment of silent contemplation. And then Jera will give us a little music to bring you back to center, and we'll move to the next one. Our first one is Let Love Be Messy by Enfleshed. Let love be messy. Love isn't just one thing. It's fierce and soft, intimate and collective, wild and sincere and deliberate and just. Love can be more chaos than order. Love can be a boundary. Love can be conflict. It's complicated. It's multifaceted. Love is hard work. Love is natural. Love is a process and practice. Though its paths are many and varied, love always leads to life. Love is an ever-unfolding thing. We are all still figuring it out. desire. And while we're at it, a California king that barely squeezes around the stairwell corners on the way to your third floor walk up as your friend, who now regrets offering to help you move, sweats under the weight mattress. And not those miserly parsed out weekly faux cliffhanger drama of network TV, but the don't move from the couch for a week until you start to smell funny and your dog looks at you with her, "Are we ever going to go for a walk again?" eyes of a Netflix streamed, watch every episode of The Wire binge. And speaking of smells, a wedge of the softest, ripest, stinkiest spread on a paper-thin wafer hand-pressed by Buddhist monks living in a monastery in Vermont cheese. And a batshit crazy, adrenaline-fueled hurdle off the cliff and plummet to your death, except you're wearing a wingsuit and not some tepid teeter-totter on a fenced-in neighborhood watched playground rush. And not the miles-long lumbering takeoff roll of a fully fueled, oversold, 2 full-flight crude bound from LAX to Sydney 747, but the 4G pin your eyeballs back in your brain, throttle to the firewall, afterburners howling catapult launched from an aircraft carrier. And certainly not the obligatory, "Okay, I guess it has been 3 weeks and all our errands are run and we have nothing else to do, so let's go upstairs and do it" assignation. But the 20-something, "I don't care if anyone sees us, and I know it's a public park. Ignore that family having a picnic just beyond these bushes. Oh my God, if I don't have you now, I will spontaneously combust passion of you." The Love's the Thing by Lisa Doge. I was a foster parent long before I was a mom. And an inside look at families in the system reveals pretty quickly that love and parenthood are 2 different qualities. And the relationship between them is neither straightforward nor guaranteed. Of course, the same is true of love and friendship, love and kinship, love and partnership. An intimate relationship is no guarantee of love, and love is no guarantee of simplicity or ease or unadulterated pleasure. No seasonal flurry of red and pink hearts changes that. But the inevitable heartbreak and challenge of opening ourselves to love notwithstanding, love is the thing. The thing all the poets and lyricists and artists of the ages must capture and express. And the thing none of them can agree upon. The thing for which we courageously lay ourselves bare, and the thing against which we erect barriers of cunning devising. And love, according to our universalist forebears, is the thing that holds us in all our holy human perfection and all our wretched human brokenness, which cannot be separated one from the other in any of us. Love holds us. That makes each of us a Valentine. Love's Valentine, God's Valentine, mystery's Valentine. If you listen very carefully, you'll hear a voice from both within and beyond saying something sweeter and way more miraculous than "Will you be my Valentine?" It is even now whispering, singing, calling, declaring, as it has from the day you were born and will to the day you die, "You are my Valentine. The love's the thing. Love by Enfleshed. Love cannot be bought or sold. It does not make a profit. Love does not hide from truth. Love dives deep. Love takes on flesh. Love is queer. Love is platonic. Love is erotic. Love is asexual. Love confronts evil. Love delights in pleasure. Love touches and weeps and flirts and feeds and creates. Love is risky. Love challenges systemic evil in all its forms. Love is simple, but not easy. Love is collective. Love rises up. Love apologizes. Love believes. Love corrects. Love holds accountable. Love pays reparations. Love heals. Love tells its story. Love embraces everyone, every creature, every creation. It knows us intimately. It holds us collectively. Love transcends every boundary that seeks to confine it. It will not tolerate violence in its name. It does no harm. It only sets free. And with that, we extinguish our chalice by reciting together the words that are printed on your order of service and appear on the screen. Together we say, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Good morning. I'm Linda Miltner, and this is the most exciting day of the year, and you know why. It's because the Bengals are about to win the Super Bowl, and you are about to have yet more fun in the final hours of the Heart and Hand auction. We hope that you've created an auction account so you'll be eligible for the drawing that will be held at 3 o'clock this afternoon for a $200 Visa debit card. Plus, you need that account in order to bid on the many auction offerings that still remain, and I think a couple just went in this morning, brand new. The auction is going to end at 4 o'clock today, 4 o'clock. If you want to know about which items you've bought already or that you are in the running to be the leader for, there's a little yellow star at the top of the auction page. If you click on that, it lets you know where you are in terms of your winnings. I need to tell you, however, that if you have been in the lead and you feel confident that you're going to win something at 4 o'clock, but someone comes in the last 3 minutes to try to get ahead of you, we're going to extend your bidding for 3 more minutes so you can jump back in and try to get into the lead. When the auction ends today, you're going to get an email from 32 Auctions, that's the website, letting you know what you've won and how much you owe. Check your spam or your junk folder if that email doesn't arrive. And if you've donated something to the auction and you wonder who won that item, we're going to be sending out emails within the next 3 days to let you know who won your items and how you can get in touch with them. If you have any questions or want to know how to set up an account, email auction@firstuu.com. Finally, on behalf of your hard-working auction team, I want to thank you for your donations and for your bids. The amount that the Heart and Hand auction makes will go into the church's capital budget for the many needs of this beautiful church building and grounds. And now, let's give a big round of applause to the team: Molly Gillespie, Lori Frank, Laura Hobbs, Denise Olden, and me. Thank you.
Midnight, time to start bidding. Has my mom lost her senses? She is clicking alone. In the kitchen, she babbles of construction at the zoo, and bike rides and Barbara's peanut butter mousse. Marita is making me Thai food. Kim Clokey and Huga keep me cozy at home. Ed Ryder knows all the dirt at Music Hall. We can clean it with soap from Laura Pipitone. Every household gets a gift card worth 1,000 per. Someone mutters that is fake news. It's too late, I posted it on Twitter. Really, it's only a raffle, and there's only a small chance you will get a gift card. But if you register, there's a chance you will win. After all, who thought the Bengals would go so far? Gary Gephardt's Summer Harvest, or the Fairy of Spring Cleaning. Philip Schaefer can take your picture. All of this and more is waiting. Money, give us all of your money. First Church is counting on you for the win. Once you start bidding, you'll understand what happiness is. Now gonna beat them Bengals. Nobody gonna beat them Bengals. No, no, no. Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody gonna beat them Bengals. Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody gonna beat them Bengals. No, no, no. Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Oh, who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody gonna beat them Bengals. No, no, no. Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody gonna beat them Bengals. Nobody gonna beat them Bengals.
And there are some other announcements of things going on in the First Church community. The auction is definitely one of the fun ones. And thank you again to the auction team and to Carter and Chris Dendy and Rosie Park for doing the auction theme this year. Other things going on. Today at 11:15, we'll be holding Getting to Know UU, which is one of our 3 pathways to membership programs. If you're interested in learning more about what Unitarian Universalism is, and you're here in the sanctuary, you're welcome to join me in the Fisher Room. If you'd like to participate from home, please send an email to member-care@firstuu.com. Members of our welcoming and membership team are standing by and will reply right away with the Zoom info for you to join us. Also, during the early weeks of, I don't remember when that was, January, I guess, we hosted a series of conversations about future change and what things were challenging us as we move forward in this post-pandemic era. I captured all of your comments, as I promised I would, and I believe Jane Hobson mentioned a few of those in her All Aboard article that came out in the newsletter. Tonight, you're going to receive an email from me that has the raw data of everyone's responses, verbatim, under each area. They'll also be posted on the art wall. And you're going to be invited to come in and just make a little check mark next to the things that you think are good ideas. We'll also be sending out some surveys in Breeze to let us know what things you think are good ideas. The board, our committees and teams and staff, and I will be hosting conversations over the next few months addressing each of those areas so that we can get congregational feedback on what things we really want to do. This is the time for us to think about what programs we want to accomplish, what things we want to change, what we want to do for next year. So make sure that your voice is heard.